Hello and welcome to the United Stand. Lots to talk about tonight. Ozil, Manchester City. I've got a theory about them. Big talking point, having them just beating Spurs 4-1. But first of all, let's talk about Mesut Ozil. We will also be taking your questions as per usual. But Mesut Ozil is apparently going to choose Manchester United over Barcelona or staying at Arsenal because of an ex-Manchester United player, an ex-Manchester United great for me, Cristiano Ronaldo. So Ozil, interestingly enough, in relation to Ozil, I think over the last 6 weeks, his form and consistency and effort levels has been noticeable, even for somebody who's not an Arsenal fan. You know, again, scored a very good goal for Arsenal today to get them 3 points against Newcastle. Played well against United a few weeks ago. I've seen him a couple of times, played really, really well. And I don't think that's any surprise. I think he's motivated because he knows there are clubs looking at him thinking, do we want him? Do we want him? And he's putting himself in the shop window. He's not going to stay at Arsenal. There's no point in him staying at Arsenal. But Barcelona was realistic. Barcelona are interested in Ozil. However, Ronaldo spent 4 years with Ozil at Real Madrid. They've struck up a good friendship apparently, and Ronaldo has told Ozil not to go to Barcelona because it will ruin your reputation with Real Madrid fans, where you did quite well, and also go to Manchester United because I played there and it's a really good club to go to. So Agent Pogba, maybe Agent Ronaldo, maybe you don't want him to be doing that because you don't want Ozil at Manchester United. Personally, I probably didn't want him a few months ago. I've said this numerous times now, but at 29 years of age, I know some people say he's a bit old, but I think, again, in an Arsenal team that's never going to win the title, that's always going to be battling for fourth, he has been very consistent recently and has been very consistent in the past. And a thing I like about Ozil a lot is that Manchester United are a tall team, but we couldn't cross a noughts and crosses board. We're rubbish at crosses, and Ozil's actually very, very good from corners, which we're not great from in delivery, free kicks, and that would be an added asset to me. But also, he's an attacking player, and we dreadfully miss somebody when Pogba's not there. We miss creativity, and I wouldn't be stopping at Ozil anyway. I'd be looking for a couple of players. And I think, as I said this morning about Griezmann, I think there is a realistic chance that Griezmann could be moved for by Manchester United in January, but you could also read it the other way, that maybe Mourinho's talking about Ozil, you know, because he did say if a player is who you're signing in June or July is available in January, then that's when the January transfer window becomes worth it, but only for that reason, not to be shopping around looking for players desperately. So that would be very interesting, and obviously Ronaldo coming out and hopefully helping United there. I mean, I'd take him and two attacking players are what United need. Funnily enough, I didn't watch a lot of Manchester City tonight, but they beat Spurs 4-1. The bits I did watch were embarrassing from Tottenham. You're away from home against a team that's top of the league, that can score goals for fun, and they do press you high up the pitch. And Spurs, to an absolutely ridiculous, obsessed level, decided they were going to pass out from the back, despite having a very tall centre forward that you could just hit with long balls every now and again. Embarrassing tactics. I think it's quite interesting actually, because I think 6 weeks ago, Mourinho was under pressure. I mean, he still is under pressure to a certain extent, but Mourinho was under pressure after the terrible October, and a lot of people were saying Pochettino or Silva from Watford would be good managers for Manchester United. Excuse me, long day. 6 weeks later, Pochettino has gone into free fall with Spurs. I don't know where they are, but they're a long way behind us, and must be 20 points behind City now. And Watford, I think, have lost 4 in a row. So it's funny how football can turn around very quickly, and I think one thing when you are looking at players or managers of the future for Manchester United, then consistency is the key. Don't be a fair weather. Don't just go, because they've had a good start to the season, they're a good, that's what we want. I think Pochettino has been found out big time. What have they done? They lost to us. They've lost to Man City. Didn't they lose to Arsenal as well? So, Pochettino's been found out. And, yeah, when it works, it works. But today it didn't work. Man City, very, very dominant. But what I will say is this. I think Manchester United, because it's Man City and we share the city with them, but every top club in England should be absolutely embarrassed and ashamed of themselves. And I say that as a very loyal Manchester United fan, but we as a club and every other club in England, every other football fan in England really, because City haven't got any, so every football fan in England should be absolutely ashamed of their clubs, because for Manchester City to be title winners in the middle of December is an absolute shambles. It's embarrassing. It's diabolical. To a certain extent, ourselves and Chelsea, we can be a little bit... Well, no, I mean, 11 points is still massive. It really is embarrassing that gap is that big. And yes, Manchester City have played good football at times, but I remember the 3 games before United played them, and they were lucky against Southampton. They were lucky against Huddersfield. I'm not saying they didn't deserve to win. They were lucky at Watford that Kompany didn't get sent off in the first 5 minutes. So they have been lucky. Bournemouth away at the start of the season, they were lucky. Well, Liverpool at home, they were lucky because Manny got sent off. So they have had a lot of luck whilst playing good football. And I'm not saying that to take a pop at Man City. I'm taking that to have a pop at Manchester United and every other club. Why are we so far away from them when they have had to grind out results? They have had to have a little bit of a stroke of luck. But I think what it does do, I don't buy into what Match of the Day and all the pundits are saying. Oh, this is the best Manchester City side ever, because it's just sensationalism. It's sensationalism because they want the now to be better than the past. They want the now to be... The thing is, this Premier League title is over, and I said this, and Premier League, the best league in the world, it's over. So what the press and the public, the media people are now trying to do is, it might be over, but let's spin it that this is the best Premier League side there's ever been in Manchester City, which is totally and utterly inaccurate. And even if they win this league, they won't be the best Premier League side ever. But it's inaccurate anyway, because Manchester City have had to grind out a lot of games. They have had bits of luck. So this myth that they've been absolutely roller coasting over everybody all season is a nonsense. If Lukaku could finish, it would have been a draw last week. If referees had made right decisions like that Leicester game, Kompany would have been sent off. I don't think they would have won that. But I'm not begrudging of Manchester City being top. The big thing for me is how embarrassing it is for every other club. Whoever you are, whatever you are, however you are, if a team wins the Premier League in the middle of December, you've got to take a long, big look at yourself. Arsenal, Manchester United, Chelsea, Spurs, Liverpool, everybody needs to take a long, hard look at themselves that they have contributed to that. You have contributed to Manchester City winning that title. And more importantly, as a Manchester United fan channel, or a Manchester United fan, the board... And I hope they are doing it, because we as fans are looking at it. We're looking at it and going, right, we actually said if we beat Man City, that would be 5 points. Hopefully Spurs will beat them. We can win our game. That would get it down to 2 points for Christmas. It could be like 14 points by Christmas Day. It's not gone the way we wanted it to. And as fans, we're starting to think, I've heard somebody say today, look, this is bad. This is domination from Manchester City, and it's domination that won't end. It could go 2-3 years of them winning the title in a row because they're so far ahead. Now is the time that has to stop. Now is the time as fans are starting to think, how do we stop it? And we are the best equipped club to do it, because we are second to them at the moment, and we have that big rivalry being from the same city. But are the board as hungry and aggressive about stopping this now? Because stopping it in 2 years' time, when they've won 2 titles in a row and they're going for 3, it's too late. It's now. It's now. It's why January is so important. It's why Mourinho can say what he likes about, because he's paid by these people, and I'm not a big fan of signing in January. Well, I'm sorry, Jose, and I'm sure this is what he's thinking in his head. He's just going the party line. I don't care what you like in January. We are a long way behind Manchester City because they've got abundance of attacking talent and we haven't. We lose our box-to-box midfielder and we become Stoke. We really struggle to create chances. So January needs to be used. We need to be aggressive. If you are aggressive in a transfer window, I've said this all week, if we are aggressive in the transfer window, it doesn't matter whether it's January or the summer or not. But have no doubts about this. It's bloody embarrassing that the title's gone in December. And as a Manchester United fan, and as Manchester United fans who know what United have done over the years, forget Liverpool, forget Arsenal, forget Chelsea, forget Spurs. It's on us. It's always been on us. It's on Manchester United to stop things like this happening. And whoever the manager is, whoever the players are, whatever the circumstances are, it's bloody embarrassing that on our watch that City are going to have won the title in December, and we've contributed to that. Fine margins, very fine margins. I think Manchester City have dropped 2 points all season, but you know what? I look at the points we've dropped this season. Liverpool, we parked the bus. That was 2 points. Stoke, Phil Jones fell on his arse. That was 2 points. Huddersfield, Phil Jones got injured. That was 3 points. Chelsea, we fell asleep after 20 minutes. That was 2 points. So, you talk about fine margins, but we're not actually that far off, really. Henry Estevez has made a contribution. Thank you, Henry. He says, a big fan of your channel. Keep up the good work. I just think it's embarrassing. I don't know what you think, and I am going to take a lot of your questions in a minute, but at Ski T is right. Look, Man City have just battered Spurs without David Silva, who was fantastic against us last week. I don't think that is something that makes me think... I mean, I heard somebody say tonight after the match on the BBC in their comments saying, everyone goes on about how it's easy for Pep because he's got an empty checkbook, but lots of people have had empty checkbooks and failed. I don't think actually many people have had empty checkbooks and failed. Chelsea had empty checkbooks and won plenty of titles. Blackburn had an empty checkbook and they won a title. It would be ridiculous if in his second season Pep Guardiola didn't win the title, having had 2 seasons of an open checkbook. But the football's good, I've got to give him that. But the big thing for me about Man City is that aggressively they've gone out and got players. Like over the summer they just bought fullbacks and they spent a lot of money on fullbacks. But what he does have is he's got so many attacking options and Manchester United don't. And that is the problem, that David Silva doesn't play, but they still put 4 goals past Spurs. A beleaguered and lacking confidence Spurs, lacking ideas Spurs, but they've still gone out and done it because they've got so many options. And we don't. They've got wide men, they've got attacking midfielders. We don't. And they would win you games. And they've got very, very clinical strikers as well, which, to be honest, we don't. But Manchester United need to be aggressive in January. Ranuk Dash says, the thing that bugs me the most is that these journalists and pundits regard this City team as the best ever and it's such a nonsense. You know what, Ranuk? They're going to keep saying that. Of course they are, but it is absolute nonsense. They're so fast as well. Look, the way they play football, the way they pressed us at Old Trafford was very impressive. The way they move the ball, the way they get at back fours. But to be honest, Man City are suited to Spurs. Man City would struggle today against the Stoke. Oh, probably not Stoke, but somebody who's going to park the bus. Spurs wanted to be expansive and it was stupid, and they've got a good defence. It was poor tactics by Spurs, but I think Spurs have shot the load metaphorically. I think they really have. Just before we go on to something else I want to talk about and your comments, remember to drop a like. But also, this is big. This is really good. This is. We got one of these with William Hill last year. We've got it Ladbrokes this year. Christmas offers you normally get are quite good. So there's a link in the video description for this, and it's a really good one, and we've added onto it, so it's even better. We're giving away a Manchester United shirt tomorrow on the watch along. All you've got to do is sign up in the link in the video description for Ladbrokes, and they are offering 25 to 1 for Manchester United to win. 25 to 1 for Manchester United to win. But the brilliance of it is it's a pound bet. So all you've got to do is go through the link in the video description, sign yourself up, lodge a fiver in or whatever, but put a pound on Manchester United to beat West Brom tomorrow and you'll get 25 to 1. So United win, you turn a pound into 25 quid. You can only do a pound, I think. Just check the terms, but it's a pound. So, But the brilliant thing is, everybody who signs up will go in the draw to win a Manchester United shirt. You can have a home or a grey one, but I'm saying it's the black away one because I think the black away one's the best. So we're saying black away, but the winner can choose whether they want a home or a grey one or a black one. But link in the video description. Last time we did this, I think we got about 30 people signing up. So you've got a 1 in 30 chance just for a pound. So link in the video description. Give it a go. And also on that, yeah, £1 gets you £25 back. But I think tomorrow we've got to win tomorrow, so I think we will do. I mean, my prediction was 2-1. I know it's a very difficult place to go. I know they didn't concede against the best attack in the world in midweek at Liverpool, tongue in cheek, but it's Pardew West Brom. It's not Pullis West Brom and West Brom, so they're not going to be that defensive. I think they'll try and go for a win, which I think will help us. But we've got to win tomorrow and I think we will win because I think when United need to win, they do win in these sort of situations. Obviously not last week, but because Arsenal won and Chelsea won, we've got to be very, very, very careful about what's going on behind us. I mean, at the end of the day, I suppose when you look at it, Spurs losing, I don't like it, but I did say the title was gone last week. So actually, Spurs losing, they're probably more of a challenge to us than us to City. So yeah, it's still not. I still can't dress it up. I wanted City to lose, of course I did. But Liverpool play tomorrow away to Bournemouth. I'd expect them to win there. We need to win. We do need to win because we've got Leicester away next week. Then we've got Burnley at home, which will be tough. Southampton. We need to win. We need to win tomorrow, and I think we will. So £1 becomes £25. Link in the video description. It's through Ladbrokes, and everybody who signs up will go in the draw to win the United shirt as well, which we'll be giving as well. The site can be reached. I've just clicked it. Somebody just said it can't be reached. I've just clicked it and it takes you through absolutely fine. Jake Campbell, I've just checked it for you. What else did I want to talk about? Yes, so Fellaini's not there tomorrow. Carrick's not there tomorrow. We are a little bit lightweight in the midfield, but we already know that. And also, Fellaini is apparently not going to be used until the new year now to give him longer to get over his knee injury. Interesting about Fellaini, isn't it? Because apparently he's going to go to Turkey. I don't know. Andrew Ellis, I'm with you. I'm going to start taking some of your questions in the live comments now. We haven't done this on a Saturday night for a while, but I do love this element of the Saturday night show, and I've said what I needed to say, and I did a show this morning as well, so I don't want to talk at you for the second time in one day, so let's take some of your questions. Andrew Ellis says, sell Fellaini, Jones, Blind, Herrera, Darmian in January. Never going to happen, Andrew. We'd never get rid of that many people, and certainly I don't think Jones or Herrera will go anywhere. I agree with you on Blind and Darmian. I think they're the logical people to get rid of. They're not playing. They don't really get on the bench that often. We get money for them, and we could replace them with better. Fellaini, I think, will probably stay, but I would get rid of him. Cullup YT says the title was gone when the transfer window shut. Well, I hate to say I told you so, but I got a lot of stick on August the 31st. I was very, very angry with United and the transfer window that we had. I always said that Lindelof, Lukaku and Matic wasn't enough. It wasn't what Mourinho wanted, and it left us, if things went wrong, with a ready-made excuse. And I think it is an excuse. We do lack attacking players, and we haven't got enough attacking players. Oh, that water's nice. I've had too much drink the last couple of days. Refreshing. Please do drop a like on the video. We like to hit 500 likes whilst we are live. Let's have a look what else people are saying. Stand by your manager, says friend 2008. I don't think anybody's turned against Mourinho. I've not really seen anything about anti-Mourinho today. I just think the club, the manager, the board, they need to be embarrassed that this title has been won in the middle of December, and they need to do something about it. They do. Ferdinand is saying City will win the Champions League on BT Spot, says Cockney Red. You know what? They've got a bye to the quarterfinals. Obviously, Real Madrid or PSG are going out. Barcelona or Chelsea are going out. Manchester City are in a very good situation. I would not count them out of winning the Champions League. I wouldn't count them out at all. They are going to be competitive. That is scary. That is scary because they've already won the Premier League. If they win the Champions League as well, and then they pick up one other domestic cup, you know, even if it's the League Cup, they'll call it a treble as good as ours. Obviously, the ultimate treble is the FA Cup, the Premier League and the Champions League. But Premier League and Champions League double is pretty significant. And that would only add fuel to the fire that it's the best Premier League side ever. Best Premier League side ever with an open checkbook, yeah. I think that's got to be a qualifying thing. I certainly don't remember Wenger having an open checkbook with the Invincibles. And certainly Sir Alex Ferguson didn't have an open checkbook with the 99 side, which was predominantly made up of, well, largely made up of youth products, of which Man City have zero. So those are, if they ever want to get into that debate, and it won't happen till May, they'd be the things I'd be throwing up straight away. But they are, you know, let's not lie, they are worthy champions in the Premier League, and that's our fault. And if they are a threat in the Champions League, definitely. I don't like it, but it is true. Who do I want in January, says Mad Mango. Okay, good question. For me personally, I mean, I've done my top 5 the other night. For me personally, I would like to see 3 players come in. I'll be very happy if we get 2. I would be going for Griezmann. I don't know whether we can do it or not, but I just think let's be aggressive. So I would go for Griezmann. We need an attacking player. If he's not possible, I'd go all out for Ozil and see what we can do there, because he's going for free in May anyway, and Arsenal might fancy a bit of money, and they're powerless effectively. And then if those 2 aren't possible, I'm sort of moving into territories that I don't like. You know, if we're talking about Mario from bloody Inter Milan, I think he's too big a risk. There are others, but I think Ozil or Griezmann would come with a level of confidence and quality that I'd be happy with. People talk about Ross Barkley. I think Ross Barkley would be decent, more for a Pogba backup, that he's a box-to-box midfielder. Defenders-wise, I saw Danny Rose tonight. He's no better than Luke Shaw. So I don't want him at United, full stop. Mr. United has made a contribution, thank you. He says, will City's dominance be enough to kick our board's arses in gear in January? The future of English football is at stake. Well, we've spoken about that. It's a very good comment. I hope that the board are having the same sort of conversations we're having here tonight. It's not acceptable. I think every English club should be ashamed that a team's won the title in the middle of December. We're not even halfway through the season. But more importantly, we should be ashamed as Manchester United, and the board should be ashamed, because we know for a fact that they didn't fully back Mourinho, and now the title's been won by our biggest, well, not our biggest rivals, but our City rivals in December. So it's happened on their watch. They need to do something about it. What do you think about Forsberg from Leipzig? Says Kunal. I do like him. And I like Werner as well, Timo Werner. But I just, they're not. They don't give me the confidence that they're going to succeed that a Griezmann or an Ozil deal. Not to say that they won't succeed, but yeah, I do like Forsberg. I do like him a lot. I wouldn't be disappointed if we signed him, but I just would be slightly concerned as to whether he'd be a flop or not. Chad Sproul says, Mark, could you see Jose walking at the end of the season? Yes. Yes, I do. I said that the other night, didn't I? I said, these people who want rid of Mourinho because of the style of football he plays, look, you might get your wish in the summer. He might just walk. PSG want him. PSG is an open checkbook. PSG have got Neymar. PSG, if Manchester United don't give Mourinho what he wants, which is 3 or 4 top class players, and they say no, you're gonna have to do it on a budget, I think he will walk. I think he will say, look, this is, I could stay here for 3 years, but I can't topple what's happening across the road at City. I can't topple that if you don't give me the tools to do it. I can do it at PSG because they'll give me the tools to stop them in the Champions League. So I think Mourinho might walk, and I think if Mourinho did walk, it'd be the board's fault. So they've got to do something. They've got to do something. It's a bit like Angel Gomez. I was ecstatic when he signed the new contract. I think Mourinho signing a new contract or not will be quite telling. And if you do want Mourinho to leave, and I know people like Andrew Ellis did, I think the most likely thing is that he'll walk. I hope not. Moada says good riddance. Tato makes the best comment of the night. If he walks, who comes in? Well, like I said a month ago, people were talking about Pochettino. Wouldn't go near him. Big game bottler. Doesn't win trophies. Silva. God, he looks quite promising, but they've just got done at home by Huddersfield. So no, Ancelotti is the one I wanted 2 years ago. 2 years ago, when we all started turning on Van Gaal because we'd had enough. The United stand did exist then, and I was talking about Ancelotti. Wasn't talking about Mourinho. Nothing against Mourinho, but he'd only just been sacked by Chelsea, so I just didn't really think it was a possibility. But Ancelotti was the one I wanted. Some people wanted Pep. I didn't. We could be deep in the gutter if Jose goes and City just keep adding to that top squad. Yep, Danny Green, you're right. I think if Mourinho walked in the summer, United would be in a lot of trouble, because whoever comes in, they probably aren't going to like all the players that Mourinho wants. So they'd be saying, I need a year. It's not ideal. Whereas, like you say, Pep will just be, let's do the same again. We'll add a couple of players. I've got an open checkbook. Let's get Alexis Sanchez in. They'll just get better and better. Fortune, I agree with you. The pundits should get out of Manchester City's backside. It isn't attractive, and it isn't even founded. Man City deserve to be top of the league. Man City deserve to win this title, which they will. But all this talk of the best Premier League side ever is just total nonsense. It's nonsense, and idiots are talking it from their idiotic mouths. But they're all spreading the same message. Nobody's actually speaking any sense and fighting back against it. I'd hope that somebody like Gary Neville would, being as he played in the 99 side, and he played in a team that actually had a few youth players in it and played better football than Man City and were more dominant and had better leaders. But somebody does, because it's just getting boring, and it's only December as well. Angel Gomez should be in our matchday squad, says Adrian. He signed the contract. That's the main thing for me. Mini Diver, there isn't anybody with a CV like Jose Mourinho. Even Pep Guardiola's CV is nothing like Mourinho's. Mourinho's got the best CV out there. Seeing rumours that Ancelotti will be in for Conte by next season, says Sam Rowe. I like Ancelotti. I do like Hirvin Lozano Etoro. I've been mentioning him for about 3 summers, but United never seem to be in for him. Man United have to show a lot of ambition in January, says Fortune. I agree. I'd take the Roma boss, says Andrew Ellis. Zlatan someday would be a good coach, says Muxa. I think I wouldn't take him at United without him going somewhere and proving himself first. Leon Goretzka is ideal. Fortune again, very good comment. Who would you say is the best football pundit, says Cal Davis 14. I actually, I do like. I hated him as a player. I couldn't stand him as a player, but Steven Gerrard, no, I'm joking. I couldn't stand him as a player, but I do like Frank Lampard as a pundit. I'd always read about Lampard that he's got a very high IQ, and I'm not saying that because you've got a high IQ that makes you a good pundit, but a lot of footballers clearly have quite a low IQ, and I think Lampard speaks a lot of sense. I think the reason I like Lampard as well is because obviously he spent a lot of time with Mourinho, and Mourinho's our manager, and you get a lot of sense out of Lampard because one, he's intelligent and articulate, but two, he knows sort of around, you know, what Mourinho's doing at the club, and I find that interesting. So Lampard probably would be my favourites. I'm not one of those bloody sheep who just think it's Carragher or Gary Neville. I think Gary Neville is good. I do like Gary Neville, but I think he's also very fair and unbiased, which some people see as a positive, but I just think you're United great. Sometimes I just don't like how fair he is, even on United games. I don't like that. Carragher, I used to like Carragher, but actually I just think he's a bit of a cretin. Man United have to show a lot. Yeah, we've done that. Roy Keane. I love Roy Keane, Mike Rollins. I do love Roy Keane. I forgot about Roy. It's because he's on ITV, isn't it? You always, when you're thinking about your pundits, you're always thinking Sky or BT. I do like Roy Keane. Robbie Savage, sit down. You're drunk. It is Christmas. Abdi says Lampard was a class player and I respected. I never liked Lampard. He was a good player, just never liked him. Michael Hamilton says the reason why Lukaku's not scoring is because we don't have a driving midfield when Pogba isn't in. Spot on, exactly. That's why we need to buy attackers in January and not defenders. I would like Meunier from PSG, but I don't really see what he offers us in January. Wait till the summer. Owen is the best. Jared Pesserman says, mind everyone, Angel Gomez would never have signed a deal unless promised game time. Yeah, I think that's the significant thing about that. It's good. Snaps, yes, Gary Neville is good. He's a good pundit. I was asked who my favourite was, and Gary Neville obviously featured in there, but he's not my favourite. I'll tell you what I would like to see. I'd love to see Gary Neville and Roy Keane and Jamie Carragher all on the same couch, because I think Keane, those two would absolutely be terrified of Keane. He'd put them all in his place. Fresh King says Lozano, Goretzka, Milenkovic, Savic, Meunier, Griezmann are players we must sign in order to challenge for trophies. We're not going to get Lozano because he's only just gone to PSV in the summer, hasn't he? In fact, Lozano was nearly going to City at one point. Could we get Alexandro in January, says Jay White? I mean, there's still talk that we might try and sell Shaw. I just don't get that at all. Danny Rose has not looked good at all this season from what I've seen. Glazer out, flags need to come out again. Oh, well, I hope they don't come out again. I just hope the board do something significant in January and the summer. And if they do that, then that's what they need. That will satisfy me. If they don't do anything, then clearly they don't have the appetite or the best interests of the fans at heart, or they're interested in his profit lines. But profit lines should drive the fact that we need to be successful. If Manchester City have a couple of seasons like they're having now, where they're dominant and they're playing good football, the way the modern football world works, worldwide and in the UK, because I was driving down the road about 3 months ago in the Midlands, and there's two young lads walking around with Man City shirts on. I was like, oh God, this is not good. But the way the modern football works, if Man City have another season like this, there will be fans around the world who split their allegiance to Man City, start supporting Man City, and what Man City want. It's like Wenger said. Or Manchester City are just petrol and good ideas, and that's what he means by that is they've got a lot of money from petrol going into the club, and they've got ideas about how to be big. They're buying success, quite literally. But their model will work. What they need, they've got the players, they've got the manager, they've got the stadia. What they now need is the fans, the global support, because they get obliterated even by Arsenal for global support. But if they start having sustained success, they will get support globally, and that's why it's another reason we need to stop it. Active Dan with Lone Watch for us. He says Pereira played tonight for Valencia and he got an assist. Good. Fosu Mensah didn't play for Palace today. He was injured, but he had played the last two. So let's talk about Fosu Mensah being pulled back actually from his loan deal. because United aren't happy with how much game time he's had, but he has played the last 2 games. And Wilfried Zaha actually was talking about him this week and said, I've never seen such a quick player. He's absolutely lightning fast, which obviously for us is good. I think Fosu Mensah will definitely be a player for United in the future. I think Twansibi will as well. Andrew Kay says Lozano still has a reasonable release clause at PSV. I must say I haven't really taken much notice of Lozano since he's moved to PSV because I've sort of closed my eyes off to it. But yeah, he's a good player, but I can't see it happening. Andrew Ellis says Mkhitaryan deserves another chance before he's sold. How many chances does Fellaini and Lukaku and Rashford have? And they've all had bad spells of form. Yeah, but remember last season there seemed to be a bit of an issue with Mkhitaryan. It's a weird one. I don't think it's all good between him and Mourinho, to be honest. I don't know why that is. BJ Fakaridi says, hey Mark, if I wanted to contact you for business reasons, how would I? Soccerboxtv@gmail.com is probably the best email to do that. Lukaku plays like he's wearing Timberlands, says Mourinho. I've never... Oh, I'm going to have to write that down. That's very, very good. Very, very good. Very good. Would I take Pastore from PSG at this moment in time? I'd probably take. I would, yeah. I think we need. Regardless of whether attacking players or defensive players, we do actually need 3 or 4 more players in the squad. So of course I would. I would take quite a lot of players at United at the moment because we do need to improve. Nab says, will Roy Keane and Ferguson's relationship ever improve? I don't think so. I think at his stage of life, Sir Alex Ferguson's quite stubborn and Roy Keane's very stubborn. I doubt they'll sort it out. Unfortunately, people do always, sometimes they never sort things out. It's a shame because Roy Keane is a United legend. Is a massive part of the success that we had under Sir Alex. He was basically Sir Alex on a pitch. Speakster says I would take any decent attacking midfielder. I would at the moment because I think we need 2. Although Chad doesn't rate Pastore, he says he's average. Fortune Garth Crook is crap pundit. Yes, he is. Spot on. Lukaku rested tomorrow, says Tyson Furious. I don't think we can afford to rest anybody, do you? I really don't think we can afford to rest anybody. It's away from home. It's at West Brom. I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it. I think, time's a great healer. And a week ago we were talking about being title contenders. I think the reality is now we're in a real big battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and that you could drop down to 5th quite quickly. So we need to win tomorrow. We need to see improvement from Bournemouth. I think the home fixture against Bournemouth sort of saw us home against a decent Bournemouth side. Tomorrow we're going to need to show a little bit more because we're away from home. But I think we will win it. I do think we will win it. And remember, the link in the video description for the Ladbrokes offer. Sign up, link in the video description. We're giving away a Manchester United shirt. Like I say, I think we're going to give away the black one. But if you're the winner and you choose the red or the grey one, that's fine. We'll sort that out for you. Link in the video description. If you sign up with Ladbrokes with their offer, you will automatically go into the United Stand draw to win a Manchester United shirt for Christmas. It's not a Christmas shirt, it's a United shirt. And the offer is also very good. It's a £1 bet. Put link in the video description. Put your bet on, sign up, put your bet on, put £1 on Manchester United to win tomorrow and you get 25 back. It's 25 to 1, so £25 back for a £1 bet. But the offer is it must be a £1 bet because obviously, I think that's the added thing really. It's only £1, you can get 25 back. So link in the video description for that. I think last time we did it last year with William Hill, we had about 30 people signing up. So you've probably got a 1 in 30 chance of winning a United shirt for Christmas, which is pretty good odds. Pretty good odds, all for £1. So link in the video description with that. But I think we'll win tomorrow. I do think we'll win. So, it's good odds anyway. Who do you think will win the Champions League, says Ghost Titan? At this point, if I was predicting the Champions League winners, I would go with Real Madrid. I know they've had a bad start, but I think they'll come good. But there's a few who could win it. Barcelona could win it. Man City could win it. Real Madrid, PSG. One of those will knock each other out. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Whether we can win it, not at the moment. We could, because Mourinho could make us grind it out, but we wouldn't win it going toe to toe with people. We'd have to be quite, part of the bus at times, I think. So, there we go. Right. we're not actually, Tabsha, we're not actually in, he just said Arsenal Fan TV is better than this channel. I don't know how you actually compare a United channel with an Arsenal channel. It's not, they're not meant to be, they're not meant to be going head to head. That's not how does that work? We're different channels for different clubs for a start, but hey ho, he's obviously been let out tonight and he's had his stay. Would you take Zaha back to Manchester United to salvage his start? No, I wouldn't. I spoke about this the other night. No, I wouldn't. I think he's a really, really good Premier League player. But I've been watching the Premier League now since day one, and over the years there's been very, very good Premier League players that I wouldn't take at United. I mean, Kevin Phillips is always one I mention. Just because Zaha's playing well for Palace doesn't mean he'd play well for Chelsea or United or Man City. I don't really think he got a fair crack of the whip at United, to be honest with you. But for me, I don't think he's top 4 quality. I don't think he'll ever play for a top 4 club. So there we go. If we played Martial at the right time, we would win many games, says Diego Lamont. I actually don't think Martial will start tomorrow. I did that on my preview, didn't I, last night? I've got a funny feeling Martial's not going to start. I think Mourinho's going to start with his whole messing around with Martial again. I'm not convinced that Mourinho actually does prefer him to Rashford anyway, and I think Martial's been a bit hot and cold lately, and I think Mourinho will use that as the first opportunity, you know, get him out of the team. I hope I'm wrong, but I just got a funny feeling he won't start tomorrow. Yes, I did go to watch the Star Wars film today, and I have done my... I was very disappointed. So if you've not watched it, or you want to know what my thoughts are on it are, the link is in the video description for the Mark Goldbridge channel, which launched last night. There's 2 bits of content on there now. Go through the link in the video description, subscribe, and there's some additional content that you probably didn't know was there, because I think we've got 1,300 subscribers at the moment, so not everybody is subscribed yet. My Star Wars Last Jedi review is on there. That's about 20 minutes, and also my walk home from my Christmas party from last night is on there. So good additional content. If you're not aware of the Mark Goldbridge channel, it launched last night, and the link's in the video description. There's a couple of things you can go and watch there. Make sure you subscribe and get involved. Tomorrow night we've got the Christmas party. That will be the United Stand Christmas party with this set, but it will be on the Mark Goldbridge channel, because obviously there's football and fan cams tomorrow night, so we're just going to put the Christmas party on there. And to be honest, the Christmas party will be very much like this, relaxed. We'll have some guests on, we'll interact with the live comments, we'll have a few beers. It's a Christmas party, 9 o'clock tomorrow night, and yeah, so it's probably better that it sits off the main channel. So yes, make sure you go through the link in the video description and subscribe and get your notifications on. But that will follow. We'll still be live at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. For Sunday Night Live. We'll be live at 1:15 tomorrow for the team news watch along for West Brom. We've got fan cams up tomorrow as well, so lots and lots going on the United Stand. Make sure you subscribe if you are new. Do pop over to the Mark Goldbridge channel and have a look at some stuff on there. And also, yeah, don't forget, you can win yourself a Manchester United shirt through the United Stand, through the offer with Ladbrokes. Link in the video description. It's a £1 bet to win 25 back, and I think for United to beat West Brom tomorrow, and I think they will. So get on that quick, because that offer's only going to be up until kick-off tomorrow. So you've got 24 hours to get yourself signed up. We're giving away a United shirt as part of that as well. So thanks everyone for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. There's still lots of it left, so enjoy it. I won't be watching Match of the Day tonight. No, I won't. There's nothing in it for me. So I won't be watching that. I think I'll find myself a Christmas film or something. But speak to you all soon. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to check those links out in the video description, whether it's my channel or whether it's the win the shirt through the Ladbrokes one. But I'll speak to you all tomorrow with the team news and the watch along. Thanks for watching. I really enjoyed that. It's not, I really like doing the interactive live comment stuff on a Saturday night, especially. But definitely need to do it more. Shit, I've not turned it off. Bye, everyone.